Everyone leaving Obsession walks out with the same takeaway. Be careful what you wish for, and sure, that's there.
Bear, I love you so much. I don't think I could live without you.
Bear uses a supernatural toy to make the woman he loves fall for him.
I wish Nikki Freeman loved me more than anyone in the entire world.
It goes horribly wrong.
I love you. I love you!
People die. The lesson practically writes itself. But I don't think that's what this movie is about. Because the most disturbing scene in Obsession has no blood in it, no horror, no supernatural twist. It's just Bear sitting alone in a car. Nothing has happened yet. No curse, no obsession, just a choice. And that one quiet choice tells you more about what this film is actually saying than anything that comes after it. Bear is a shy music store employee who's been in love with his childhood friend Nikki for years. He finds a shortcut, a collectible toy called the One Wish Willow. Snap it, make a wish, done. He uses it to make Nikki fall in love with him. The movie treats everything that follows as horror, but the horror didn't start with the wish. It started before that. The wish doesn't create a flaw in Bear, it reveals one. Bear buys the One Wish Willow as a gift for Nikki. That's important, not for himself, for her. Then he drives her home, she gets out of the car, goes inside, and Bear is left sitting alone in her driveway holding her gift. That's when he snaps it. But here's what gets missed. Earlier that same night, Nikki confronted him, asked him directly if he had feelings for her.
Do you like me?
What?
Because if you do, now's the time to tell me.
And Bear said no. He looked at her and lied. So the wish isn't born from some desperate longing that finally boiled over. It's born from the shame of having just denied her the truth. He's not sitting in that car because he couldn't find the words. He had the chance. He chose the wrong ones. The willow is his attempt to undo a rejection he caused himself. And what makes the car scene so uncomfortable is how quiet it is. Nobody's pushing him. Nikki isn't standing in front of him. He can drive away. He can go back tomorrow and give her the gift like he planned. He can knock on the door right now and tell her the truth this time. Instead, he sits there and turns her gift into his wish. Something meant for her becomes something used on her. Nobody forces him. It's just Bear, alone with what he wants. And in that moment, what he wants matters more than what she wants. The movie even telegraphs this before the wish happens. The cashier who sells him the willow warns him.
Or they die or wish they were dead.
People buy these things and come back unhappy. Bear hears it, buys it anyway. The warning removes his innocence about consequences. The car removes his innocence about intention. Together, they say the same thing. Bear knows enough to stop. He just doesn't want to. The reason this works is that Bear is sympathetic. If he were cruel from the start, the film collapses. We'd clock him immediately, keep our distance, and tell ourselves we're nothing like this guy. But that's not who Bear is. He's lonely, awkward, incapable of saying the thing he most needs to say. He's not introduced as a villain. He's introduced as someone who is hurting. Most people know that feeling. The wanting someone to feel differently than they do, replaying conversations, imagining better outcomes, wondering if one more attempt might change something. But here's the thing about the wish itself. The One Wish Willow isn't malicious. It doesn't twist what Bear asked for. It does exactly what he said. He wished for Nikki to love him more than anyone in the entire world. That's not a romantic request. That's a demand for total possession. The curse doesn't distort the wish. It fulfills it faithfully, which means Bear described what he actually wanted accurately. That's the scariest thing in the film, and it's never spoken out loud. This is where the film draws its line. Love accepts that another person has the right to feel differently. It can hope for a yes, but it makes peace with a no. Obsession can't do that. Obsession treats uncertainty as a problem to solve. It keeps looking for the right argument, the right moment, the right strategy, something that turns another person's choice into the answer you wanted. Bear isn't disturbing because he's alien. He's disturbing because he's recognizable. The film starts with a feeling most people have had and follows it somewhere most people would never go. There's a detail most people clock as setup and never return to. Before any of this, Bear's cat Sandy dies. She got into his oxycodone, he left it out, she found it. Bear loved that cat, he's gutted. Then freaky Nikki arrives, and if you actually watch how she behaves, she doesn't act like someone in love. She watches him sleep. She can't be apart from him. She has no needs of her own, no interiority, no existence outside her attachment to Bear, just unconditional devotion, no selfhood attached. She behaves like a pet. Bear didn't want a partner, he wanted something that stays, something that can't leave, something that looks at him the way Sandy used to, and the film gives him exactly that. And then, because Bear's carelessness took Sandy, his carelessness takes this version of Nikki too. The oxycodone that killed his cat at the start is what Bear reaches for at the end. Same negligence, different body. The film isn't being subtle, it's telling you exactly what Bear wanted and exactly what it cost. At some point in the film, the real Nikki breaks through. The obsessive persona falls asleep, and for just a moment, the actual Nikki surfaces.
You are you, Nikki.
Shh. Please don't wake her up. Just kill me.
What would be so bad? What's so bad about being with me?
She tells him she's trapped, forced to watch herself do things she can't control. She begs him to end it. Bear already knows what's happening. He's called the support line. He knows the person he's been living with isn't really her, and he refuses. In the car, you can still defend him. He was naive. He didn't fully understand. But here, after Nikki has looked him in the eyes and told him exactly what this has cost her, he still won't let go. Not because he's a monster, because he's afraid. Afraid that letting go means accepting the answer he spent years avoiding. And every time he refuses, someone else pays. Sarah dies. Ian dies. He only acts when the consequences become impossible to ignore. Not when Nikki begged him. Not when he heard her trapped inside the curse. Only when he had no other choice. That's what makes the film so uncomfortable. Not that Bear made a bad wish, that he kept choosing it. Then Nikki uses the willow on Bear. She wishes for Bear to love her, and it works. Immediately, no resistance. Think about what that means. If Bear had actually loved Nikki, not a version of her, not a projection he'd been building since childhood, there would have been something there already. Something real occupying that space. Something to resist the curse. But there wasn't. The wish works because the love was never there. He'd been filling that space with an image of her for so long that when the curse came for it, it found nothing to push against. The film runs two experiments. Bear's wish shows what obsession does to the person you claim to love. Nikki's wish shows what was never there to begin with. The second wish isn't just the ending, it's the proof. Bear dies. The real Nikki wakes up, alone, surrounded by everyone she lost. She doesn't get closure. She doesn't get justice. She gets the wreckage and the memory of things she didn't choose to do. She was never a participant in this story. She was the object of it. So when people say the lesson of obsession is be careful what you wish for, they're half right. That's true. It's also the safe version. It lets the audience believe the horror lives in the toy, that as long as none of us ever find a cursed object, we'll never be Bear. The harder lesson is this. Bear's problem wasn't the wish. It was the moment he sat alone in that car. Every option available to him, and he chose the only one that didn't require him to accept her answer. He didn't want Nikki. He wanted a version of her that couldn't say no.
Fucking skull and shove the barrel in my pussy!
I love you. I love you. I love you!
The film doesn't imply this. It proves it through the second wish landing clean on a man who had nothing real inside him to resist it. That's what makes this film stay with you. Not because it shows us a toy that makes wishes come true, because it shows us how easily obsession disguises itself as love when what we want becomes more important than who someone actually is. That's the real horror of obsession. If you made it this far, you probably care about films being taken seriously. That's what this channel is. Subscribe. New essays dropping soon.